Hi, my name is Hector. I'm co-founder and the CTO of SmartVineyards. What we do, we have sensor networks for irrigation management. Last year we heard a lot about the drought in California, right? So some people say that the drought in California, as all the economic power that that state has, cost about $2 billion, considering all the job loss, crop losses, and all the water and the effects in communities in California. Oregon, nobody said nothing about Oregon or Washington. I gotta say that the months of September and October, they were a lot worse than California in Eastern Oregon and Washington State. That picture over there shows last week the snowpack in Oregon. So you can see how Eastern Oregon, all the red spots, the clear ones, they don't have no data, but you can easily interpolate that. So that's a snowpack ready for future water in agriculture in all Eastern Oregon. So everybody knows water is a big deal. Many parts of the world are actually suffering of drought, like South Africa, the Mekong Delta. Anyways, so we started looking at how to manage water better, basically. And that dream started in 2013, when the Internet of Things was kind of just coming out to life. So my partner, Alan Campbell, he's a plant physiologist. He saw an opportunity here. At the time, he had working for the industry, the vineyard industry, as a consultant for 15 years. And he saw the opportunity of, okay, let's see if we can set up some sensors and start measuring how much water is available to the plants and vineyards. And but he is a plant physiologist. He didn't have really the background for doing the technical part. Is when I come in, and we start working together. So with early developments, everything kind of from our garages, we started like putting sensors in vineyards. And here in the Willamette Valley mostly. So we had at the time like around 7 or 8 pilot sites, and it went well, basically. So we started looking at, okay, how can we improve that? In order to improve that, Alan, as a plant physiologist, he has all the scientific background to understand how plants actually extract water, which is that slide behind me. So basically, water is being used for a plant to do the photosynthesis. So it takes sunlight, transforms that sunlight into sugars through all the nutrients coming from the soil through water, basically. It captures CO2, releases steam and oxygen to the atmosphere, and there is up to 90% water uptake. Basically, the leaves of each plant has some organs called xylem. They open or close depending on whether the plant is going to need to extract water from the soil. It's basically a differential pressure system. So if the plant needs water from the soil, basically opens the xylem, there is more pressure in the soil than inside the plant, so the water tends to go up. And at night, actually those xylem close, and the plant goes back to the soil. So it's like a breathing system that takes 24 hours to complete. So in all that cycle, so the plants take all the nutrients from the soil, transform the nutrients in sugars, and distributes that through all the plant. So then that's where our system starts coming in. So we developed, we took some sensors already in the market for many years. That measure a parameter called water tension, soil water tension, which basically tell us how difficult it is for the plant to extract water from the soil. So different kinds of soil, they tend to retain water in different ways. If you have clay, so clay tends to keep the water there. If you have sandy soil, so water just goes away very quickly. So these sensors, we have three set of sensors at different depth. measures how difficult it is for the plant in centibars that water, right? So that information is actually captured by nodes. So this is what I'm gonna wait a little bit. So this is.
You got a great deal on this building.
Yeah. I know. All right. This is what the IoT starts going in. So those sensors connected to this node. We built a mesh network system like that. So you can see one monitor, one of these in that post, different monitors across all a field. All of them measuring the soil tension between 50 minutes or 30 minutes. And they send that information to a base station. The base station connects to a cellular gateway, and everything goes uploaded to the cloud. Once in the cloud, we start processing, and our customers can actually see what is available water to the plant, and they make decisions of irrigation, how much water is going to go through the season. So the plants need different water depending on the stages. So it's a bud break, it's flowering, is the fruit ready, is harvest, post-harvest, etc. So there is a strategy building across the season. So there is another picture about one of the fields, sensor distribution, well, there is a lot more than, can I leave it 1 minute?
Yeah, 30 minutes.
Oh, sorry. Okay, well, this is our interface. This is when we just place the sensor. This is only the first week of data. So, and later through the season, this is how you see centibars on the left side. So the higher the number, the drier it is. So grapevines need actually to be very dry in some stages. So all the good nutrients go to the fruit rather to the leaves or the roots. And that's the way that the best Oregon wine, or the best wine in the world made in Oregon is actually can be achieved. So it's economically feasible to customers. Just to give you an idea, 1 acre of good wine can actually be worth about $1 million. So we're trying to apply this technology to other crops, expand it. The technology is still not that cheap and affordable for most of the crops, but we are working really hard to make it happen. Questions?
Are you working to reduce the water bill, the irrigation bill for farmers, or is your pitch for better quality output and a better product at the end?
Both. Our customers get some savings out of using water better in general, but the main attractive point for our business is actually the optimal fruit at the end of the season. So they can actually create a better wine at the end of the season.
How frequently do you have to place the sensors?
How frequent or how far?
How many sensors?
So it depends on the soil. So agriculture is actually a really complex operation. So soils change from location to location. Even in the same locations, the soils can actually be very different. If you have a very homogeneous land, one of these nodes is enough, pretty much. If you have in vineyards, can actually be really different from here to a few feet away, can be very, very different. So it depends on every particular site. I can tell you that our systems connect with RF. So this particular version, we have up to 1,000 feet distance between node and node. So we create this mesh network across, and that's kind of our limitation.
This is not a new problem to be solved. Who's your competition? Because I'm seeing a lot of big guys.
Yeah. Yes. Well, It depends how you see competition. We can see some complementary, first of all, complementary technologies. The common question is, what about drones? What can drones tell you about the fields? A big difference is a drone, yes, a single picture in different light bandwidths can actually tell you a lot about what's happening. This is just a snapshot. So we are giving like a constant streaming of data 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, right? And actually it's very affordable. So we only use, something that we're very happy is that we use this 2x3 solar panel, 2x3 solar panel to send data every 24 hours, which we could only get it with the hardware that we're using. We tried different hardware, we had different microcontrollers for all the projects, and it was super hard to get it that low for our application. So we have that. So other competitors, there are many all over the world. I think our main competitors are in California. We believe, in terms of the business case, we believe that they are doing it wrong, because most of the competitors, they actually measure how much water is in the soil without considering what kind of soil they have, or at least they leave the manager to decide that. So we are actually getting how difficult for the plant is to decide water.
That's the secret of the sauce, hiding.
That's one of them. Yes. All right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.